Wake up, Luke. It's time to be rolling on. You lost the cattle and the sheep and the whole damn. You lost the cattle and the sheep and the whole damn farm.
Wow. You know, it seems like every time we start this, one of these podcasts, Talenza comes on. And that was Bad Bad Barnyard. And the irony in that song, by the way, that I did not plan that at all. That song was completely random. You know, all of the music playing on the station right now is completely set to random. That song just happened to be the one that was going to be playing right now. And it's ironic that talks about Bad Bad Barnyard because one of the events that I'm going to talk a little bit about today is going to be the Maryland Poultry Swap on April 27th. So that's just amazing coincidence right there. I love it. I absolutely love it. So welcome to the Radio Free Hub City Newscap, live from the Honeypot Acres studio in Hagerstown, Maryland. I'm your host, DJ Warbuckler, and joined by me today is DJ BB. So what is the Newscap? It's a podcast format show where we talk about local and global news that matters the most to Hub City. The full recording of the show will be available through Spotify as well as X for replay. Now, unlike our regular monthly news recaps, tonight's episode is an in-depth look at a single topic important to Hub City area residents. Now, let's take a look at tonight's focus topic. BB, I know we've got a lot of different events and fun activities to talk about tonight, and that's really going to be the focus. Why don't you kick us off? Tell us about some interesting events that are coming up here in the Hagerstown, Washington County area.
Well, we have a lot of specific events, but this time of year, I am most excited that it is time just to get outside and go down by the water to do something. Love it. Love fishing, love just walking around, seeing, you can find all kinds of neat treasures down there. We magnet fish on occasion, find some cool stuff. You can tube and kayak. And I did just want to remind people that we are still in the dates where if you're on the water, you have to wear a life jacket. So even if it's hot outside and you just completely forget, just be mindful of that. Check the DNR website. They'll let you know everything you need to know, but by all means, go outside. Just go outside. You'll find something to do out there.
Yeah,
and along that note, there's a creek cleanup this weekend.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Yeah, and actually, speaking of safety on the water, I did want to go ahead and throw out a reminder that this upcoming Friday, Washington County, Frederick County, Maryland State Police, Maryland National Resources Police, they're all going to be participating in a search and rescue simulated drill along the Potomac River, and that's going to be in the, I believe, Brunswick area, between like Sharpsburg and Brunswick, something like that, possibly as far down as Harper's Ferry. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you see a lot of increased activity in the area near the C&O Canal, then that's probably what's going on, as it's probably part of that drill. Don't panic, but also don't get in their way. One of the things they're asking is don't fly any drones in the area while that's going on, just because they don't want the drones to interfere with and possibly endanger some of the rescuers that are going to be practicing there. So super important stuff. So, all right, cool. What else you got for me, BB?
Well, let's see. I am looking forward to the grand opening of Deep Roots Comedy Lounge on May 25th in the Borough Plaza in Waynesboro. That's going to be the area's new comedy and live entertainment, but also event center. Like, you can rent it out if you want to have a party there or an event there. Great space for all kinds of stuff. We're really looking forward to it. So that's going to be, we have a double header show on opening night. You can check the website for tickets. That's deeprootscomedylounge.com. That should be a bunch of fun.
Yes, absolutely. And I am definitely looking forward to that. So some other events coming up. So two different events that are coming up in Boonesboro, actually. On May 4th, the Boonesboro High School is having the Community Agriculture Day, which is going to include tractor pulls, a barrel train, a baby barnyard, tractors, animals, vendors, a greenhouse sale, food trucks, and more. That's going to be May 4th, Boonesboro High School from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., sponsored by the Boonesboro FFA. And then also on Saturday, May 11th, is the Boonesboro Green Fest and Recycling event. That's a completely free event. Please come out to Boonesboro. That's at the Schaefer Park in Boonesboro. Always absolutely great time anytime I go to the Green Fest. There's usually a lot of fantastic crafts there, as well as, a lot of great plants, and it's just an overall amazingly cool event. And I'll also talk about another agriculture related event here coming up as well. But I wanted to switch over to you and see what else you've got in the meantime.
I am very, very excited. I just saw that there was, let me make sure that I have the date correct here. I think that this is a really, really important event. It's not necessarily, it doesn't particularly sound like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to that, but I do feel it's really important. So on, let me see, this Saturday at 12 p.m., the NAACP of Washington County, at the MLK Gymnasium on Northern Avenue, they're having a basic money skills workshop, and that is absolutely free. And I am just a big advocate for financial literacy. Everybody struggles. Everybody struggles in this economy. There really aren't a whole lot of people that don't have some sort of worry, and if you don't understand how to best manage and utilize your money, it can be a lot harder. So I think that's a really fantastic event. And if you don't have any plans for noonish on Saturday, I highly suggest you swing by there. That just seems like a wonderful thing to offer the community, and learn how to manage your money now. That way you can get the maximum out of your summer budget.
Yeah, and actually, it's going to be a very busy Saturday upcoming for Hagerstown. So, in addition to that event in Hagerstown, we've also got the Hub City 100 miler finale, which will be at the City Park Train Hub, and that's going to be the final mile of the Hub City 100 miler. And then also in the same area, actually, at the Jonathan Hager House, is going to be Earth Day and Arbor Day. And they're actually going to have tree planting, stream cleanup, and stenciling at the Jonathan Hager House. So both going to be great, fantastic events. Highly recommend them. And then, of course, I'm going to have an event coming up very soon as well. I'm going to hold off on talking about that until we get closer to the commercial break, because it actually ties into the commercial break. So, BB, what's your next event or location that you want to talk about?
Saturday again. This is from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Delightful Dairy in Williamsport. Pot party. You bring your own flower pot, and it is join us for a fun evening of music, food, and flowers. We'll have locally sourced flowers available for repotting. Bring your own flower pot. And it does mention that there are brownie sundaes on the menu. So I know a lot of people like, getting flowers for their yard for spring. They make wonderful gifts. Mother's Day is coming up. Teacher gifts for the end of the year, whatever, what have you. Everybody likes well, most people like flowers. So I think that's really cool. Bring your own flower pot, get some flowers, have a brownie sundae. That sounds like a wonderful event.
I'm going to admit, that's not what I was expecting when you said pot party. But that's okay. That's probably the better party that would be more appropriate for this show,
okay.
anyways.
Well, while we're on that topic, I'm going to Bogart. I'm not going to puff pass on that. You're going to have to wait because because April 19th from 12 p.m. to April 21st at 9 p.m. is the 420 Bash at Leitersburg Cinemas, okay? And they are having a 420 double feature event featuring the iconic films Dazed and Confused and Half Baked. So that is 2 tickets for $10. So you really can't beat that. Those are classic movies. It says mind-boosting mocktail and good vibes all around. So, if you're gonna celebrate the season, as it were, that sounds like a nice wholesome event to go to. We love Leitersburg Cinema. It seems like they're always trying to create affordable events that people don't have to break the bank to attend. So if you're into celebrating 420, that seems like a fantastic way to do it.
Yeah, and Leitersburg Cinema, you know what? I'll go ahead and give them a shout out as well. Just because every time I go out there, they are absolutely fantastic. I went to an event of theirs a while back, and they said that their goal is to be considered the Disney World of movie theaters. And you know what? I think they accomplished that goal pretty well. So good on them.
I'm kind of a curmudgeon. I don't really like going to the movie theaters. I've never had a bad time there. I love it there. So
yeah, absolutely. So all right. So next up, let's go ahead and give a plug out for the Maryland Poultry Swap and Farmers Market, which is going to be on April 27th. Now that's going to be taking place in Sharpsburg. I highly recommend it. And that's not just because I'm going to be there as a vendor, but I highly recommend going out because, from what I've been told, the turnout is absolutely huge. I was looking at the vendor list earlier. Ridiculous amount of vendors showing up. Everything from plants to farm animals to crafts, you name it, they got it. It's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be on April 27th. And I will be there representing Honey Pot Acres. And I believe, BB, you'll be there as well. Is that correct?
I will be there. I will be hiding from the poultry, but I will be there.
Oh, fantastic. Well, speaking of Honey Pot Acres, let's do a word from our sponsor, Honey Pot Acres Farm. Do you want to eat healthier, but don't trust all of those preservatives they put in the grocery store food? Try Honey Pot Acres Farm, where technology meets nature. Our GMO-free, all-natural products are bursting with flavor and nutrition. Come try our delicious and nutrient-packed microgreens at the Sharpsburg Farmers Market on April 21st and the Maryland Poultry Swap on April 27th. Orders for monthly pickup or delivery of microgreens are also available. Visit honeypotacres.com for more information. And as I said, I own Honey Pot Acres, so I say it's a sponsor, but let's be honest, we really don't get paid for that ad. But hopefully the payment will be coming on the 21st and the 27th.
Yeah, just to let y'all know, I bought some adorable cactuses today for us to propagate and sell. And the tag says they thrive on neglect. So for all of you out there that are like me, that you're surprised you have to mow your grass and you can't just look at it and it'll keel over, check out the cactuses because they seem super hardy.
Nice. Yeah. And I've got a lot of plants that I'm currently growing right now at the greenhouse. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, the succulents are absolutely
we probably
beautiful.
should cover some other events, as much as we could both talk about the stuff that's been going on at the farm all this time. So let's talk a little bit about some springtime stuff, though. Spring planting. And that's going to be on Hagerstown Main Street. And that's a volunteer opportunity. They're looking to plant 30 new planters that they're going to be having volunteers fill with soil and add in plants. Volunteers interested in showing up, bring along work gloves. It's going to go from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Market Walk and the city will provide all the necessary materials other than appropriate gloves and clothes. So if you want to go get some community service out there, do something good, help make the city look a little more green, and help clean the air a little bit, then come on out. So that's going to be great. I won't be able to attend because I've got work, but I really hope that they have a good turnout.
That sounds fun. Do we have any idea what kind of plants are they planting? Is it like decorative stuff?
Yeah, I think it's just decorative stuff. I have seen pushes to try to get cities to plant like fruit trees and stuff. But the problem with that kind of stuff is that if you don't take care of those trees properly, or you don't regularly take the food off of them, then you're just going to drop to the ground and make a real mess. So yeah, I think it's just going to be decorative stuff.
That sounds good. That sounds wise. Saturday, May 4th, 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Annual Youth Fishing Derby, Town of Boonesboro. That's at Hawkins Grove Pond, Potomac Street in Boonesboro. So that is going to be, so that's the pond behind the library. For anyone that doesn't know what that pond name is, find the Boonesboro Library. There's a pond behind it. It is free admission. So ages 1 to 6 are from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. registration, and they fish till 10:30. And then 7 to 12, registration from 10 to 11, fish from 11 to 1. Fishing poles will be provided for any child that does not have one. So I think that is fantastic. And this is supervised by Maryland Department of Natural Resources. And then, so this is an area you can't usually fish this pond. This pond is reserved for people that are handicapped or blind, children 16 and under, or adults 65 and older. So if you're trying to get your kids into fishing, or, I've been fishing recently, the water levels are still a little high. We're supposed to get lots of rain. So if you're hesitant to have your kids around the rivers or the creeks, this is an excellent way to take your children fishing. It is absolutely free. And again, they will provide you with everything you need if you do not have your own. So be sure to check that out. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of amazing things out here in Boonesboro. They really are. And by the way, if you haven't been to the Boonesboro Library itself, I highly recommend it. It is such a different environment compared to, say, the Hagerstown Library. It's just a lot. I don't want to say cleaner because they're both pretty clean, but it's different. It's definitely a lot different. It's a different atmosphere. A lot of it's all like, wood paneling covered stuff, and it's absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't been,
it's
please
beautiful.
come
There's
out.
a nice outdoor gazebo you can sit if you don't want to read inside. My youngest daughter turned 15 this past spring, and we asked her what she wanted to do, and that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to go spend as long as she wanted in the Boonesboro Library. So, I mean, it really is worth checking out. So, for sure. But Smithsburg is right behind Boonesboro with the cool things. This Sunday at 10 a.m., cleanup at High Rock. I know High Rock is a lot of people's favorite hike. I think we've all been there. We've all taken selfies up there. We go there when we're happy. We go there when we're sad. We memorialize our friends that we lose up there. People go to High Rock for lots of reasons. It is a staple in the area. But unfortunately, it does get a lot of trash. Not all of it intentional, but people drop things. So they're just going to pick up the litter. And they just advise that you wear durable clothing and shoes for this location. It is a hike. It's rocky terrain, but it is suited for kids. They're going to clean up, everywhere from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, and they're going to make multiple trips. So if you can't go all the way up, that is fine. You are still included. And then they said that a bunch of them are going to grab some food and drinks at the Odd House Pub in Emmitsburg afterwards. And they will have limited merch available. If you would like to purchase merch, just a little souvenir that you participated and you helped. I think that's an awesome thing. Everybody enjoys that area. So anyone that can get out there and help them clean it up, please do.
Very cool. So let's talk about April 4th. I'm sorry, not April 4th, May 4th. So this isn't actually going to be an outdoor event, but and BB, huge thanks to you for making this happen. So we've got a very exciting announcement to make, and that's that on May 4th, which is going to be the Flying Boxcars' very first home game, you will be able to listen to the game play-by-play live right here on Radio Free Hub City's X, or for those of you old like me, Twitter account. So that's going to be a live Twitter space. We're going to be doing a play-by-play coverage of the game, doing some commentary. Super looking forward to it. I can't say enough about how happy I am that we do have baseball finally returning to Hagerstown. Now, unfortunately, because I think the stadium might have taken a little bit longer for them to build than they were expecting. Unfortunately, they're not going to be opening the stadium up completely to individual ticket sales. It'll just be season ticket holders only. But for those of you who don't have season tickets, you can tune in right here at Radio Free Hub City, and we are going to give you a live play-by-play for the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars inaugural home game. So how exciting is that? I can't wait. BB, thank you so much for setting that up, and I'm just super excited on that.
I didn't do it for you. I heard there's crab cakes. That's all. Don't get excited.
Nice.
So they are selling single game tickets on their website. So you can actually go, it'll be mid-May where they're open to full capacity. So you can go ahead and pick your seats, purchase your tickets, and they do have lots of different packages. They've got discounts for children. They've got discounts for seniors. They've got discounts for large groups. I even saw today that you can, if you want to, you can have a party there. Like they'll host your party, corporate event, birthday party, whatever. You can have your party there. And then well, there was one more thing that I found exciting. I don't remember what it was now. Oh well, go check out their website. Look at all the amazing ticket options, and the tickets are $12 to $15 depending on what seat you choose. Oh, the other thing was they have discounts for entire Little League teams. So that's kind of cool. It's like a whole experience. If you have a Little League team, you might want to get in touch with them. So I know everybody's very excited. I know a lot of people are bummed that that single tickets aren't on sale for the first couple games, but they did say in the press release, which we shared, that they just weren't comfortable that they had their staff trained how they need to be to operate to their best potential. And I guess it is better to open to a limited crowd than to have people be frustrated or wait too long or have any kind of a bad experience on the very first time. That would really stink. So let's just, I dubbed myself hater in chief long ago, and even I will say let's give them a chance to, they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to make it as great as it can be for as many people as it can be. Time flies. The middle of May will be here before you know it. So just keep up with the sports casts until then, and we'll all be in there before you know it.
Yeah, and so it's kind of ironic that we talk about the grand opening of the baseball stadium and having a limited preview first. So I was watching a movie a couple days ago, and you're gonna laugh at which movie it was. I was watching Jurassic Park, and gosh, what a horrible opening for an event space. So as long as the flying boxcars go smoother than the opening of Jurassic Park, I think they'll probably be okay. So, as long as the players don't like turn into zombies and try to eat us, yeah, we'll probably be all right. I'm not too concerned.
Let's not forget, just to put this into perspective, the Frederick Ghost Hounds postponed their entire season. So,
yeah,
boxcars are looking all right.
Well, and we ended up picking up some of the Frederick Ghost Hounds players in the process. So I think that was probably a win for Hagerstown. Holy crap, we've actually got something that Frederick doesn't for a change. So awesome. All right, what else you got, BB?
Um, every third Sunday of the month is free admission day at Discovery Station. And I know you and I have taken several trips to Discovery Station. That's always super interesting. Great place for kids. But every single Sunday from now through December, or not every single Sunday, I'm sorry, every third Sunday of the month from now till December is free admission. So I think that that's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and we've got some great museums in this area. We really do. We've got that museum. We've got the Boonesboro History Museum. Okay, and I think I don't know if they opened the second building or if they're just getting ready to open it up or not. But it's two entire buildings in Boonesboro that are absolutely dedicated to the local area history, including Civil War and even, I believe, Revolutionary War as well. We've got the Jonathan Hager House Museum. We've got the Train Museum in Hagerstown City Park. And of course, we've got the Museum of Fine Arts in Hagerstown City Park as well.
And
But then, of
Sharpsburg
course,
History Museum recently
Yep.
reopened. And
yes,
isn't there,
yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, is there not a Triceratops at Discovery Station named after you?
There was a dinosaur named after me in there for a while. I think the dinosaur's gone. So, yeah, but that's okay. But they actually did just open up a dinosaur exhibit dedicated to their former executive director, Brittany Wedd, and it's actually named after her. So, very cool for her. Yeah.
Yeah, so all the museums. Check out all the museums.
Well, and then, the one museum that I intentionally did not mention is the Aviation Museum. And I intentionally didn't mention that one because I believe you've got an event you want to talk about that's going to be happening at that museum, don't you?
Oh, yes. May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Hagerstown Aviation Museum. 50th Annual East Coast Military Vehicle Rally. I know that most of you are probably not excited as I am. I am excited. Free admission for show vehicles, but regular admission is just by donation. So just, whatever you feel comfortable donating, whatever you can afford to give, it'll go towards preserving our history. And I'm just looking down the list of vehicles that they're going to have there. It says they've got everything from bicycles to a Sherman tank. And the Aviation Museum is actually going to display aircraft, and you can climb aboard a Fairchild C-82, a C-119 flying boxcar, and a couple other historic World War II era planes, 25 historic aircraft in total, 17 of which were built in Hagerstown. So there's going to be over 200 vendor spaces, vehicles, collectibles, metals, electronics, surplus uniforms, radios, models, tools, books, vehicle parts, tents, insignia, and much more. So this just sounds like if you are any kind of a military history buff or just a history buff in general, this sounds like a fantastic event. I can't wait. That sounds great. They should not have told me that I can climb on planes.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. Sometimes they have open cockpit days where you can actually. Now it's a little bit pricey. It's a couple $100, but sometimes they actually do have events where you pay a couple $100 and you actually be able to go up in one of the historic aircraft on a flight. So I don't know if they're doing that for this event or not, but
I don't see
that's pretty cool stuff.
It does say they will have food available, and it suggests that this event would be particularly great for veterans, scouts, campers, collectors, modelers, reenactors, history buffs, aviators and enthusiasts, and just people of all ages. It's an all ages event. So that sounds super cool.
Yeah. No, I can't say enough good things about what they're doing over there at the museum there at the Aviation Museum, because I mean, gosh, well, that was a long time coming, and there's so much rich history here in Hagerstown, and now we're finally getting it all to come together between the Train Museum and the Aviation Museum. Now all we really need to do is have a museum that includes. Oh! I almost forgot. We've also got the Ag Center Museum out here in Boonesboro. We've got that's got some incredible stuff in it too. That's got old farm equipment and old vehicles in it. The only thing that we really need yet is we need to have a museum that includes, and I don't know how many of them even exist anymore, but the actual Crawford automobiles that were built here in Hagerstown, as well as the Mahler pipe organs. I think if we could get those into a museum here somewhere in the Washington County area, that would just be so fantastic. But yeah, I mean, we've got so much good stuff coming here to Washington County that it's and a lot of it's new. The aviation museum's only a couple years old now. They only recently just opened the inside of it permanently because they had to do so much work to the hangar. And for those not familiar, the hangar is actually what was the Fairchild manufacturing facility that was used to build the A-10 Warthogs. Now, they do not have an A-10 Warthog yet. With that said, they had one that was going to be lined up to be donated to the museum. However, that then fell through because the Army and Air Force extended the A-10 Warthog for its service. So eventually they're going to retire it. They just got to find another plane that'll replace. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, all right. Well, I think we're getting close to winding down. A couple other places I really just want to mention is obviously the C&O Canal and Fort Frederick and Antietam Battlefield, and I just always love going to them. They don't have any specific events you have to go to. Just go to them, go walk around, go and take in the scenery, and go learn a little bit about local history, and it's just amazing. But BB, you got any last minute events you want to bring up before we bring this to a close?
Well, I realized we neglected to mention Fort Ritchie and how cool that museum is.
Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's such a new museum that one slipped my mind as well. Yes, Fort Ritchie was fantastic.
My goodness, I spent hours in there. I really, I didn't have super lofty expectations. I wasn't thinking it wasn't going to be a good time, but I just could not peel myself away. What a fantastic. I mean, I find myself, I was there last summer and I still look back through the pictures sometimes. It's just an amazing place. Very helpful staff too. They know about every piece in the museum and they will tell you whatever it is that you want to know. So yeah.
Well, and also, Fort Ritchie itself. So, they have the main loop up there is open to walk around. They also have a community center up there. But then, a lot of that fort up there really is a living museum. In that, most of the buildings up there are very historic buildings. You come into the fort, and on the left-hand side as you're driving straight through the fort are these stone, they call them finger buildings, and they were used as office / administrative buildings back when the fort was like first open. So it's really amazing to me how some of these structures have stood the test of time, and like I said, it really is a living history museum for the entire fort up there. So yeah, no,
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for the day. Thank you everybody for listening. Once again, we actually ran over what I was expecting us to, but that's okay because I think absolutely fantastic night tonight as far as talking about what we have going on in the local area and some of the things that are available to do. So stay tuned for next week. I'm sure we'll do another deep dive next week. And then the very first full week of May, we'll do another monthly news recap. And, of course, I always look forward to that because we talk about what happened over the past month. So looking forward to that. So with that said, on behalf of BB and myself, thank you for listening. And that's it for tonight's newscap. And on behalf of myself, BB, and all the Radio Free Hub City family, thank you for listening. And we hope you'll join us next time. Don't forget to visit our website for more local and national news at radiofreehubcity.com. Thank you for listening and have a great night.